My beloved, I feel the quiet dread you carry for what lies ahead, the echoes of yesterday that concern you. I have seen the fear that chips away at your deep worth, making you question every choice, leading you to hide your true self. I know the moments you felt adrift, uncertain of your path, searching for purpose in confusing times, wondering if I had truly stepped away. Your heart has felt spent, my precious one, even in the stillness. You wondered if you were alone, yet I was with you through every single breath. This message finds you not by chance, my child. It is my direct answer to that deep, unexpressed longing in your soul. I await your firm agreement now. Proclaim I am known to acknowledge this truth. Hold to these words until their very end. For there I will unlock the certainty you have sought, revealing the steadfast purpose that has always been your own. I knew your worries about the future, a concern about repeating past experiences, a fear of burdening others, an unease about not being enough. I saw the fear that made you question your decisions. I saw the fear that chipped away at your worth. I saw the fear that caused you to hide your true self to avoid judgment. I saw the fear that led you to settle for less than your heart truly desired. I saw the fear that stole your rest, the fear that tangled your thoughts, the fear that made your heart race. I saw the fear that whispered you were alone, yet you were never truly by yourself. I was with you through every single moment. I understood your confusion during times when understanding disappeared, when you found it hard to see why things were happening as they were, when you couldn't find the deeper purpose in difficulty, in pausing, in shifts, or in silence, when you questioned your situation or wondered if you had made a mistake, when you doubted if I had stepped away from you, when you felt lost on your path, trying to make choices without clear vision, meaning, or certainty. I watched your effort to find answers while feeling turmoil within. And even when you thought you were completely lost, I knew exactly where you were. I saw your quiet heart, those times when joy, closeness, or hope felt far away, periods when neither sadness nor anger stirred you, just a vast emptiness. Moments when you felt entirely spent with no energy left to give, no feeling to share, no effort to make. Moments when you pulled back because deep emotions brought too much pain. You were not broken, my beloved. You were simply protecting your own inner self in the best way you knew how. You weren't without feeling. You carried old marks and were tired of constant hurts. I observed that inner quiet and I never saw it as wrong. I did not leave when you couldn't sense me. I stayed close, giving you strength even when you weren't aware I was there. Proclaim your knowing of this truth now. Let your spirit rise in heartfelt recognition. I saw every time you pretended to be fine, the smile that never quite touched your gaze, the humor that hid your unspoken tears, the jokes that covered your inner pain. You became so skilled at showing strength that your struggles within mostly went unseen. You presented a picture of resolve even as you felt yourself breaking on the inside. You often said, "I am well," not because it was true, but because you wished to spare others any weight. You worked to avoid seeming weak, to escape being judged. And every time you held back what you felt, every time you hushed your own voice, every time you kept your tears from falling, all of it I noticed. I watched your quiet sadness, the tears you shed silently in the dark, making sure no one would hear. The times you pressed your face into something soft to stifle your cries. The nights you wept until your whole self felt empty. The nights your tears came with no clear reason. The nights when sudden deep anguish rose inside you. The nights you carried every heavy burden alone. The nights your chest ached from trying to contain all that you felt. I marked every tear you shed, my precious one. Not one was lost, not one overlooked, not one went by without me knowing. I sensed the pain in your spirit when you felt unseen, the ache in your core when others were absent, when their presence was lacking, when they missed the weight you carried. I observed those moments you scanned your surroundings, feeling completely by yourself, when you questioned if anyone truly cared for you, when you wondered if your absence would be noticed, when you puzzled over why others found company while you bore such burdens in quiet isolation. My child, even though you felt left alone by those around you, you were never, not for a moment, outside of my awareness. Every hardship you faced was seen and known by me. Not a single tear ever escaped my sight. No sadness went unrecorded. No quiet dark hour was missed. No moment of confusion. No feeling of being apart. No urgent plea. No hushed intention born of fear. No struggle to draw breath went unwitnessed. I saw it all within you. I held all of it. I kept you safe in ways you could not understand. I guarded your thoughts when they were fragile. I stood watch over your core being when circumstances pressed too hard. My presence was with you always, even when you sensed nothing nearby, even when you thought I was distant, even when you felt my voice was quiet. My closeness to you deepened in your times of struggle more than in any moment of success. And now, let me speak to you with the kind and knowing words your spirit longs to hear. I never left your side, not even for a flash of time, not for a single beat of your heart, not for one intake of air, not for a moment when you trembled under the weight of your own emotions. I was there in your sadness, standing close when your inner self felt broken. I was there in your exhaustion, giving you the power to endure when you didn't know where it came from. I was there in your disappointments, gathering the scattered pieces of what you had hoped for. I was there in your loneliness, softly speaking love into your empty spaces. I was there in your fear, holding your trembling center. I was there in your doubt, guiding you gently, even when you didn't realize I was leading. I was there when your feelings seemed gone, keeping your true self alive when everything felt hollow. I was there for every quiet request, holding you as you gave way to hopelessness. I was present every time you thought you had been forgotten. My beloved, let me now talk about the secret places within you that you have shown no one else. I want to bring light to your unspoken sadnesses, the deep longings tucked away behind how you appear to the world, the worries you never felt brave enough to say aloud, the hopes you put away thinking they were too fragile to survive more difficulties. I want to speak with you about those parts of yourself that only I know, those private spaces you have kept from everyone else, shielding them even from your own full understanding. Because these quiet, hidden parts matter to me. Every word you kept inside, every emotion you held down, every hope you thought too small or too distant. I heard each one, and not a single one escaped my knowing awareness. I understood what you never spoke. I knew the thoughts you felt too embarrassed to even admit to yourself. I saw the worries you carried in silence to keep others from concern or to avoid seeming weak. I heard the quiet questions that lived deep within your spirit. Am I enough? What if I stumble again? What if I hurt once more? Will things ever truly get better? Will I be left by myself? What if everything I hold dear disappears? These questions were never spoken aloud, yet you softly formed them in your mind while trying to hold yourself steady. You looked for strength, bravery, and peace on the outside, but inside, powerful storms raged that you felt you couldn't calm by yourself. And every one of those silent concerns reached me. Not a single one was ignored. I saw the hopes you kept hidden, not because you stopped wanting them, but because you tired of reaching for what always seemed just out of grasp. You tucked away your hopes for genuine joy, feeling it was too brief. You put aside your longing for love, your heart having known too much pain. You let go of dreams for better times. Worn out by constant disappointments, you held back your desires for things to be made right. Unsure if you could face more struggle, you concealed your longing for purpose. Feeling lost, you hushed your wishes for calm within, as unrest seemed to fill your mind more than any sense of peace. These were once bright, active hopes, and you told yourself it was easier to stop pursuing them. Still, I watched you gently place them down with trembling hands. I saw you hide them because the deep wanting they brought felt too heavy, and I kept those hopes safe for you. They did not disappear. They simply waited for the moment your spirit could again hold on to what might be. I heard the quiet requests you made while your body shook. You whispered when your heart felt tight, when your hands trembled, when your vision blurred with tears. My child, you softly called for help, a plea so quiet even you barely heard it. You declared you could not carry your burdens alone. You asked for strength to keep going. You begged for me to prevent you from falling apart. Your deep petitions, though unspoken to others, echoed within my very being like a cherished one's heartfelt cry for comfort. I did not overlook your desperate appeals. I never dismissed them. I never needed you to declare your needs any louder. My knowing of your inner self never depended on how strongly you spoke or if you spoke at all. I have always understood the restless feelings you carried, the thoughts you couldn't settle, and the unspoken questions that weighed on your spirit. I saw your quiet struggle every dawn, how you found resolve before you even left your resting place. I watched you continue forward, my beloved, even when your own strength was gone, showing a calm face to hide the worries you thought no one else could ever grasp. I knew the hesitation that came with each new morning, a subtle dread, a heavy spirit, a sense of what might come. Unsure if the hours ahead would bring ease or if life's weight would press down once more. You believed your solitary effort to face each day went unobserved. You felt alone as you took deep breaths for composure, unaware that anyone truly recognized the immense inner effort required just to begin. Yet I was fully there with you. I looked upon you at every sunrise. I was present when you awoke with an empty feeling. I was there when the heavy memory of previous days still rested on your spirit. I was there when you forced yourself to rise, even as your whole being longed to retreat into the quiet of your resting place. Escaping every demand, I stood by you, my comforting touch gently surrounding your spirit, offering a quiet strength you didn't even realize came from me. My beloved, you do not fully grasp how many days you persevered because I held your inner self steady. You are unaware of how often despair tried to consume you only to be turned back by my constant presence. You often thought you moved through life's challenges by your own power. The truth, however, is that I carried you through it all. I have watched over your heart day and night. When your own ability to endure faded, I was your unwavering strength. When your thoughts became a turmoil of worry, I brought a quiet calm. When an empty ache settled within you, I was your comfort. When difficulties surrounded you, I was your protection. When the weight of living felt too much, I was your steadfast support. But my precious one, understand this truth. Your deep pain never hardened my spirit. It moved me profoundly. Your quiet suffering never put distance between us. It brought me closer. Your apprehension did not push me away. It stirred my deep affection. Your brokenness did not cause me to withdraw. It deeply touched my heart for you. Your moments of despair did not discourage me. They sparked a desire to hold you even tighter. You have never been beyond my reach to embrace. Your emotions have never been too intense for me to understand. Your questions have never made me falter. Your openness has never caused me to turn from you. Your reliance on me has never been a burden. All that you have lived through, every quiet sorrow, every private fear, every unspoken tear has only drawn my spirit nearer to yours, never pushing us apart. I saw when you wept softly into the shadows, wanting the stillness to absorb your tears before any other eye could see them. I watched you withdraw into your own space, hiding your inner struggles from others. I observed you quickly wipe away tears to avoid any inquiry. I watched you cry silently in flowing water, finding it the only place you felt safe enough to release your composure. I saw you clutch your chest, the pain too vast for words. I heard your faint murmur, wondering if anyone truly cared. I saw your body tremble from the depth of your sorrow. I witnessed all the quiet pain you carried. Thanks for watching God's Helps. Subscribe for daily divine messages. Click on the bell icon, don't miss out daily God's message.